Okay, we have all been there, right? You're sitting in a stiflingly hot room, the air is just thick, you've got absolutely zero air conditioning, and you are just miserable. You're probably staring at a fan that's doing nothing but pushing hot air around, wondering how on earth you're going to get through the day, let alone get any sleep. Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're talking about surviving the heat without AC, and we're going to use a really simple triage method. Just like in an emergency room, we got to prioritize. So, our strategy today? We drop your core body temperature first, and then we tackle cooling down the room. So, if you're watching this right now with no AC and feeling completely overheated, I want to speak directly to you for a second. Seriously, first things first, do not panic. We're jumping straight into fast, scientifically grounded hacks to get you some immediate relief. The best part is, you don't need any expensive equipment or crazy complex setups. You just need to understand a little bit about how your body and your environment interact and how to use the everyday things you already have lying around your home to your ultimate advantage. All right, let's dive right into this. Section 1, immediate body cooling hacks. We're going to target your physiology first. Before we even think about touching a thermostat or opening a window, we're going to hack your body's own circulatory system for some rapid, noticeable heat reduction. Think of this as your absolute first line of defense. To do this, we need to talk about pulse points. These are specific areas on your body where your blood vessels sit right up against the skin's surface. And it turns out, because the blood is flowing right under the surface there, applying cold to these specific vascular areas works. Well, it's basically a physiological cheat code. It cools the blood in those vessels, which then circulates throughout the rest of your body, dropping your overall core temperature super fast. It effectively tricks your body into cooling down from the inside out. So the crucial thing here is knowing exactly where these targets are. Grab a cold, damp cloth, or, actually even better, wrap an ice cube in a towel. But remember, don't apply ice directly to your skin. Always use a towel. Okay, so you want to hit these fast relief targets: your wrists, the back of your neck, your temples, or the inside of your elbows. Look, if you're desperate for a cool down right this second, hit pause and go try this hack first. The physical relief is incredibly fast. Now, when you're practically boiling, your brain is probably screaming at you to jump into a freezing cold shower. But surprisingly, that actually shocks your system. When icy water hits your skin, your body's survival mechanisms immediately kick in. It constricts your blood vessels to protect your internal organs, which actually traps the heat inside. That is the exact opposite of what we want. Instead, you want to take a lukewarm or slightly cool shower. This safely and gradually lowers your core temperature without triggering that defensive heat-trapping response. And the magic of that lukewarm shower, it doesn't stop when you turn off the water. Once you step out, do not grab a towel. I repeat, drop the towel. Let yourself air dry a bit, ideally right under a fan. As the water on your skin begins to evaporate into the moving air, it literally pulls the heat right off your body. You'll feel this palpable, instant cooling sensation. Let the physics of evaporation do all the heavy lifting for you. Next up in our physiological triage is strategic hydration. Look, we all know we need to drink fluids, but not all fluids are created equal during a heat wave. You want to grab a tall glass of cool water. On the flip side, you absolutely must avoid sugary or caffeinated drinks right now. Why? Because caffeine acts as a diuretic, meaning it actually speeds up dehydration. And honestly, that is the absolute last thing you want when your body is already sweating heavily or recovering from heat exhaustion. Stick to the pure stuff, guys. Your body desperately needs water to sweat and regulate its temperature properly. Let's move on and see how this all builds together. Section 2, DIY room cooling tricks, or how to hack your environment for sustained relief. Okay, we've managed your core body temperature. So now we solve that incredibly frustrating problem of staring at a fan that is just loudly blowing hot, stagnant air right into your face. Enter the ice bucket trick. This is totally foolproof. Step 1, get a shallow bowl or a bucket and fill it with ice or ice water. Step 2, place it directly in front of a standard table fan. Step 3, turn it on. That's it. As the ice melts, the air from the fan picks up this cold mist from the surface of the water, instantly creating a DIY cooling breeze. It basically turns a useless fan into a makeshift, deeply refreshing, localized AC unit. The feeling of that cold mist spreading through your room is an absolute game changer. Now, what if you're relying on a ceiling fan rather than a table fan? Well, simply turning it on isn't quite enough. You actually need to check the mechanics. Make sure the blades are spinning counterclockwise, and you want it set on medium or high speed. Why does this matter? Because this specific mechanical adjustment actively forces a cool breeze straight down onto you. If it's spinning the other way, clockwise, it's just pulling air up towards the ceiling, which definitely won't give you that direct cooling effect you desperately need down below. Keeping the air moving intelligently is totally key here, so you need to master your airflow. If you're lucky enough to have a breeze outside, open windows on opposite sides of the room to pull that air straight through and create a nice cross breeze. But just as importantly, you have to block the sun. Keep your curtains or blinds tightly closed on any windows that are facing the sun. If you don't do this, your room is literally going to bake and turn into a greenhouse. And trust me, nobody wants to sleep in a terrarium. It completely undoes all the awesome cooling hacks we've just put into place. All right, shifting gears for a second. Section 3, health and safety warnings and recognizing when these hacks just aren't enough. Listen, while these home remedies and science-based hacks are highly effective for general, everyday discomfort, safety absolutely has to come first when dealing with extreme temperatures. You should totally give that pulse point trick a shot first for immediate relief, but if you're sweating or the sensation of heat feels completely overwhelming despite all your best efforts to cool down, you need to stop. Overriding severe physiological distress is not something to be hacked. If your body is telling you it's overwhelmed, you must immediately check in with a doctor to make sure you aren't suffering from something serious like heat exhaustion or heat stroke. So, assuming you are staying safe and listening to your body, let's wrap up our toolkit. You might not have air conditioning, but hey, you now have physics and physiology firmly on your side. Armed with the power of evaporation, pulse point targeting, and smart airflow dynamics, you are more than ready to beat the heat. But, it does make you wonder. As global temperatures just keep on rising, how much further can we push human adaptation without relying on the grid? Stay cool,